few weeks ago, I made a video giving advice to 16-year-olds or just high schoolers in general. Now, it's early June, so in a lot of places the school year is ending, which means that a lot of people are graduating from high school. Now, I remember the feeling of being a fresh high school graduate. I was 17 when I graduated, but I know most people are 18. And, as a 17, 18, 19-year-old, a lot of you are very lost in terms of what you want to do in life. And, that's why I'm here to give you some guidance. Okay, me being 21, I found my purpose. But a lot of people don't find their purpose until way later in life because they let other people misguide them. Okay, they let other people direct them in the path that they think is best for them, when in reality, no one knows what's best for you except for you. So with that being said, hopefully this video will be able to provide some type of insight to you to help you find your own purpose. I'm not here to tell you what you should do. I'm here to provide you advice to help you find out what you want to do. Now with that being said, the first thing that you should do as an 18-year-old is try everything. Okay, try everything. Everything that is legal. Okay, don't go out here and commit crimes or do drugs or anything like that and then tell the police that Jordan Green told you to do that. I am not liable for anything that you do that harms other people. But anything within the law, you should try. Okay, so starting a business, starting a YouTube channel, writing a book, starting a blog, working at different types of jobs. There are a lot of different things you can do, especially with the introduction of the internet. Now, for anyone who's 18 years old, that means you were born in 2002, 2003. So you grew up with the internet. You are very likely well versed in terms of how to make money online, things like that. You at least know certain terms, and if you don't, you can find all of that information online for free. Make yourself knowledgeable about different ways to make money online, different ways to work for yourself online, or just work for yourself in general. And try them out and see if that's for you. Entrepreneurship and self-employment is not for everyone, but it is for some people. And I think that everyone should at least try it once in their lives to at least get it out of their systems. So if you try it and you absolutely hate it, then cool. Now you know that that's not for you and that you should probably go to school or seek some type of stable employment. But you should at least do yourself the service of trying. Now the next thing that you should do at 18 years old is start building your credit. Okay, I made a short video about a week ago talking about how to build your credit score up, but in essence, all you need to do is get a credit card. Okay, you can get a Discover credit card with no credit history. I'm sure there are other companies as well that you can get a credit card with no credit history, but I use Discover, and you basically get your credit card, use your credit card exactly how you would use a debit card or cash. Okay, so if you don't have $500 in your account, you cannot take your debit card and spend $600 with it because you don't have that money. Use your credit card the exact same way. Only use it to buy things that you can afford. Don't use your debit card or cash unless you absolutely have to. Use your credit card for everything and pay off your credit card on time. Okay, pay it off on time. I pay it off in full on time every month and I have a good credit score. Okay, I think I'm in the mid to high sevens now, which is a very good spot to be in for a 21-year-old who had no prior credit history at the age of 19. Okay, so if you do that and, be mindful of your credit utilization rate, which is basically how much of your credit you're using in relation to the amount of credit that you have, okay, i.e. your credit line, then you're going to build your credit up pretty quickly. And of course, building your credit will help you, if you want to start your own business down the line. If you try starting your own business right now, and you find that it works for you, that's what you want to do, credit is going to be very, very important for you. The next thing that I would say all 18-year-olds should do, and obviously not everyone is going to have the resources to do this, but do this to the best of your ability, is travel alone. Okay, travel alone. Work if you have to, get you some money, and go take trips by yourself. If you want to find yourself, traveling alone is one of the best ways to do that, because you're going to be exposing yourself to different things that you have never seen before. Okay, for me, I believe that the moment I became a man was my first solo trip to New York. Okay, when I went to New York by myself for the first time, I think I was 18 years old. I had just turned 18. Never been outside of the DFW Metroplex by myself. And I flew to New York. Okay, and I stayed there for about 4 or 5 days. And that trip right there, it showed me a different side of myself. It showed me the side of myself that was independent and self-sustaining. And that's the essence of adulthood, is self-sustainability. You have to be able to take care of yourself. And traveling alone will help you develop that responsibility. Okay, and with your credit card, you can have credit cards that, give you travel miles. You can get travel credits from your credit card. So, that's one way to combine both of those things. And also, when you're traveling, especially if you're self-employed, you never know who you might run into. It's a great way to network, just getting yourself out there in the right places. I've met some amazing people while traveling and made some great connections that I would never have made staying at home. And also, I was able to expose myself to a different lifestyle. Going to LA, seeing Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, seeing the mountains and the beach and all of that. All of these things that I had never seen in my life here in Texas. Okay, so just exposing yourself to different things, seeing that there is another perspective out there. That, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to develop yourself. Now, speaking of self-development, that is the next thing that all 18-year-olds should be doing. You should be watching channels like Jordan Green, watching channels like Ice Cold JT, and all of these other amazing channels where, people are giving you game. We are giving you free game based on the lives that we've lived. Now, like I said earlier, you shouldn't just take anybody at their word for their advice, including myself. But, I'm here to make you think for yourself. And I'm here to help you level yourself up. Okay, so by doing certain things like deleting social media, doing NoFap, and just generally getting your life together, that's going to give you that foundation that a lot of people in your age range, believe it or not, do not have. Okay, a lot of people in their early 20s, they do not have their lives together. They really don't, which is okay. Okay, it is okay to not know what you're doing. None of us know what we're doing. We're just learning as we go. But at the same time, you should start building that foundation, laying that groundwork for the rest of your life. Because once you hit 20 years old, that period from 20 to 40, those will likely be the most crucial 20 years of your life. Okay, so set yourself up now at the age of 18 by trying different things and focusing on leveling yourself up in all aspects. Now, the next thing that you should do, and I understand that based on your living situation, you might not be able to do this, but if you can, do not go to college right away. Okay, if you plan on going to college, especially if you don't know why you're going, if you don't know what you want to major in, or if you don't know if your major is right for you, don't go to college right away. A lot of 18 and 19-year-olds are led to believe that it's perfectly normal and feasible to take on tens of thousands of dollars worth of student loan debt to go to college, even if they don't know why they're going, which still to this day, I just can't wrap my head around that. I genuinely don't understand why that's a normal, acceptable ideology. It doesn't make any sense. And, a lot of times our parents make it even worse. Okay, and when I say our parents, not everyone's parents are like that, but just generally speaking, the older generations, they're going to push college onto you as quickly as possible, especially if you're, a first generation American, or if you have immigrant parents in general, if you're from a foreign country, especially a lower class community, your parents are going to want you to go to college because they believe that if you don't go to college, the alternative is poverty and homelessness. But what you have to understand is that if you're leveling yourself up and you're trying different things and you're utilizing the power of the internet and building up your credit, you're going to succeed, whether you go to college or not. The key is, do you want to go to college? If you want to go to college, then you should go. But even if you want to go, you need to figure out why you're going in the first place. Because if you don't have a plan, college is not going to help you find that plan. I learned that the hard way. I went to community college thinking that they were going to help me find my purpose. But in all actuality, my purpose lived within me. None of them could have ever told me that I was going to be a YouTuber because they don't know anything about YouTube. The school system is behind. Okay, they are a generation behind everything else. So you have to be mindful of that and respect yourself and your future enough to not listen to your parents all the time and be an independent thinker. Okay, take some time to not go to college and see if it's right for you. If you take a gap year between high school and college and you don't want to go to college, the chances are you shouldn't be going there in the first place. You have to learn to think for yourself. At the age of 18, you're grown. Whether you live with your parents, okay, no matter what your situation is, you are now in charge of your own life. Because unless your parents are paying for college for you, you're the one that's going to be liable for paying off those student loans for the next decade. You're the one that's going to be jeopardizing your chance of financial freedom by pulling out those loans just to please your parents and get a job that you don't like and be a slave to that corporation because now you have to work at that job to pay off your student loans. Okay, it's a big cycle and a lot of parents are completely oblivious to it. They don't understand that and they don't understand the opportunities that we have. That's why in my, advice for 16-year-olds video, I said that we as a generation know more than our parents did. And while I still stand by that, I think I was wrong in terms of, us being the first generation to know more than our parents did. I think that's just the natural flow of life. Our kids are going to know more than we do because they're going to have resources that we didn't have access to. Their kids are going to know more than they do. Okay, so you have to understand that even though your parents have life experience, they don't have the experience that you're going to have because you're going to be living a different type of life than them because you have access to different tools and resources. So you have to be mindful of that and think for yourself, okay, and take some time to truly contemplate your future. You owe it to yourself. And no matter what decision you end up making, you're the one that's going to be living with the consequences of that decision. So give yourself time and space, okay? If you're confused about your future, like I said, take a gap year and try everything and travel and work and do all of these different things to really find your purpose. Because the chances are your purpose already lives inside of you. You just need to see it in someone else. And the best way to do that is by exposing yourself to a lot of different things. College can be a part of that, but if it's not a part of that, now you're in the hole $50,000. Okay, so take some time to try every other method, and if that doesn't work for you, then go to college as a backup option or trade school or something of that caliber. Okay, right now, this is the prime opportunity for you to take risks because you are at the youngest age that you'll ever be again for the rest of your life. So right now, if you take a chance on yourself and you fail, you have the rest of your life to make up for that failure. You have more time than you'll ever have again. And you still have college as a fallback option or trade school or even the military, whatever you want to do that provides you stability. Okay, stability is an illusion, but that's a different discussion for a different day. The point is, you need to try different things and find out what you actually want to do. And don't let your parents, don't let your teachers, counselors, or anybody else pressure you into doing something that you know is not right for you at this moment in time.